Hey everyone, and welcome back to 5 and 5, where relativity and complete discovery source come together to break down how e-discovery actually works in practice, not just theory. I'm Milton Cervantes, lead technical account manager here at Relativity, and today we're talking about the other side of moving server to from server to Rel 1. Not in cost, but for a seamless transition. Because getting your data there is one thing, but getting your data there with minimal downtime and data integrity intact is another. So joining me today is Sudelia Tang, Client Solutions Director at CDS. Sue leads the migration team at CDS. Sue, great to see you.
Great to see you, Milton.
Okay, let's jump right into it. Can you kind of share with us what the biggest misconception organizations and customers have about migrating data from server to Rel 1?
I think the biggest misconception of migrating data is the whole idea that it's just a data transfer, or that we're just generating arms, transferring them over and restoring them, and a sort of like a lift and shift type of project. But it's not. It's the planning and the scoping and all determining like the migration methods, migration prioritizations, and what groups and users to import, and all of those things that you need to do as prerequisites to the migration before the migration starts. That's the key to a successful and streamlined migration.
Yeah, definitely. So what are some ways people can improve migration turnaround times while minimizing downtime during the migration to RelativityOne?
So besides the proper planning, a streamlined workflow incorporating steps like automation, creating groups and users, utilizing the user import utility, all of the proper tracking via the migration tracking application that we should be doing for near real-time tracking. And it's using more than just one migration method. So both the Migrate application and the ARM to rows migration methods can be used. The Migrate application does have the ability to do the files first option, so that you can transfer your files and your repository first before you migrate the front end workspace. And so bringing over the work product and the metadata later on will definitely minimize downtime.
Yeah, 100%. That multi-prong approach usually minimizes downtime, but also gives you flexibility to institute different methods. So 100% agree. So where do you see migration struggle the most these days? Like what's really that pain point?
So migrations definitely struggle without the proper planning. You will end up all over the place. You'll end up utilizing hours of time versus minutes, things that could have just taken minutes with the proper planning, because there's a process. Like, things have to happen first before the next things can happen in order for them to be able to streamline and incorporate the automation into those workflows. The second place I think I see things migration struggle are basically the tracking. So utilizing Relativity's migration tracker application definitely helps. It gives you the near real-time tracking and reporting capabilities. And then the third is not doing all of the migration prerequisites. Without those prerequisites, the migration is definitely going to struggle. Things like running file validation before you generate the arms, and breakage reports before you're generating the arms, and cleaning up users and groups in the workspaces before you're generating the arms are all areas where sometimes people forget to do them, and it ends up causing more work down the road post restore.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I mean, the migration tracking application, that's a game changer. I think that is a big differentiator amongst most migrations. So understanding it's not a lift and shift. What about the other things in the Relativity Server instance that need to carry over, like custom scripts, applications, relativity scripts? What's that process look like?
Well, first of all, it's key to identify those in the workspace before migration starts. And then especially like customizations that are in the SQL backend access, they may not function the same way once it's migrated over. So there's some compatibility testing that needs to happen, probably in a sandbox environment, before you do the migrations.
Yeah, makes sense. So $1 million question. Do organizations or customers need to upgrade their Relativity Server environment to the minimum version before they initiate a migration?
Yes, to the minimum version. You don't have to be on the most recent version of Relativity Server, but you definitely need to be at least at 9.9.11 or higher before you can actually move to RelativityOne.
Awesome. Sue, I really appreciate you walking us through all this. It's a great reminder that migration is just one step in the process. Implementation is actually what drives a majority of this to be successful. And to everyone watching, thanks for joining us in the episode of 5 and 5 with Relativity and Complete Discovery Source. As more organizations move to RelativityOne, understanding how to implement it effectively will make all the difference. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Milton. See everyone in the next 5 and 5 series.